Alright guys, today we are looking at some rare dollar bills that you should always be on the lookout for. These are must-find dollar bills that have errors that anybody can look for from the bank or on their old paper money. If you guys inherit an old paper money collection, a coin collection, these are things that you want to look for on other dollar bills, not just older ones as well. So this first one is a 1957 silver certificate. So you'll notice it has the blue seal and blue serial numbers. Now it doesn't necessarily mean that's valuable. You know, some silver certificates in really bad condition just sell for $2, $3. But this one here sold for $1,800 because one, it's in very good condition, and two, it has a stuck digit, which we can see there as we zoom in there on that last digit of the serial number. So always look for that. That can add a lot of value to your dollar bill, $1,800. Now next up is a more modern dollar bill. It's from 1963. This has a mismatched serial number. So you'll see that all the numbers match until the last digit. This side of the bill, it ends in 936. This side of the bill, it ends in 935. So the 5 and the 6, the last digit, is what is mismatched. Now you can have multiple numbers mismatched, only one number, like in this case, mismatched. Now, they are supposed to be matching on both sides of the bill. So if you find one where a number isn't matching or a letter isn't matching, that means you have some value there. That means you're going to be able to sell it for a lot more than face value. So this dollar bill from 1963 sold for $552, mostly not just because of the condition, but also because of that mismatched number. All right, let's move on to another 1963 $1 bill. I think you guys can kind of see this error here. It's an offset printing error. You can see part of the back printing of the dollar bill here on the face of the bill. So that will give the bill some value as well. This $1 bill sold for $900 and it's in not so great condition. So you can see how much value that error gives that $1 bill. Here's a 1969 obvious type of error. It's a printed fold error. You can see that it was folded and then the seal and the numbers were printed on top of that fold. So this dollar bill ended up selling for $840 at auction. Moving on to one of the easiest things to look for on your $1 bills. Again, you can go to the bank, search for these types of errors. You can get a stack of 20s or 100 singles, whatever you guys can afford, and look for errors like this. Obviously, this has an inverted overprint. You'll see the seals and the numbers upside down on opposite sides of the bill. So this bill ended up selling for $528. Next up is a 1977 $1 bill that has a mismatched serial number. Now this one here is much different than the other one that we looked at, and this time it's graded by PCGS. So you'll see the number here starts with 97250-762. Over on the right side of the bill, it has 86139-762. So the only thing that are matching there is the 762. So you're talking 5 numbers are mismatched there out of the serial numbers. So that is huge. That will give the bill a ton of value. And that's why this $1 bill sold for over $3,100 at auction. All right, moving on to another offset printing error. This time you can actually see the whole design of the face printing of the bill here on the back of the $1 bill. So 1977 Federal Reserve note ended up selling here for $240, graded by PMG at a 40. Next up is another fold over error. So you can see the left side of this $1 bill has been folded and then the serial number printed on top of that fold. So that's something that you can always look for, of course. This $1 bill sold for $216. Moving right along to another fold over error, and you can see that there on the left top corner of this $1 bill from 1985. Again, pretty obvious. If you're just going through your bills, look for stuff like this. It stands out pretty well, right? So $119 is what this $1 bill sold for from 1985. Next up, again, a very obvious error, but if you're not looking for stuff like this, you can easily pass it up. This $1 bill sold for $264 at auction because it has an insufficient inking error. So you do not see the green seal or the serial numbers and block letters. So it's completely missing all of that printing. So always check your dollar bills, 264 bucks. And again, a very obvious type of error. We have a misalignment error taking place here on the 1988 Federal Reserve note. This dollar bill sold for over $1,200. And then this is a really cool inking error that you can look for on your seals. You'll see it on the black seal there, that inking error taking place on a 1995 $1 bill. And this dollar bill sold for $336. Moving right along to a 1996 $20 bill that has a misalignment error. Again, this kind of speaks for itself. Very obvious. If you find something like this, you might want to consider having it graded if it's in, decent condition. This one's at a 50, so not a super high grade, but it's not a super low grade either. The bill ended up selling at auction for $144. Not too bad. Now here's a $100 bill. Now this bill sold for over $2,600, so you're talking nearly a $3,000 $100 bill here. So this has a missing print error, so you're missing the print of the whole back of the $100 bill here, and the fact that this is a star note. You'll see the star at the end of the serial number, which is a replacement note. The fact that it's happening on a star note makes it even more unique and intriguing to top collectors, and that's why the $100 bill sold for over $2,600. Moving on to another obvious error, you can see that it has a misalignment error taking place. You'll see the seals and the serial numbers are not lined up correctly to this $1 bill. And this Federal Reserve note from 2001 sold for over $3,300. That's right, over $3,000. Unbelievable. Here's a 2006 $1 bill that has an inverted back printing here on the back of the bill, obviously. The face of the bill looks very normal, like any old 2006 dollar bill would, but the back printing is where that error is taking place, and that's why it sold for over $1,100. That's right, $1,000 there. Moving on to a $10 bill from the year 2017. This has an inverted overprint as well. You can see it's not lined up correctly. I mean, pretty obvious type of error here. I mean, this stands out like a sore thumb, right? This is a super, super valuable Federal Reserve note. This $10 bill sold at auction for over $5,700. Could you imagine going to the bank, going through $10 bills and finding this and selling it for nearly $6,000? That would be insane. Now here's a 2017 $20 bill that has a mismatched suffix error taking place. So you'll see that the numbers match, the PE matches before the serial number, but you'll see that on this side of the bill it ends in the letter D. On this side of the bill it ends in the letter F. So the D and the F is mismatched. That's what gives the bill a ton of value. This $20 bill sold for $960 at auction. And we can't forget about this no dated $1 bill because it's actually missing the whole face printing and the back printing of the dollar bill. And we do see the seals and the serial numbers, but no other printing on this bill, and that's why it sold for over $11,000. Such a unique type of error taking place there. So always inspect your bills. And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out those videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.